So welcome to another Bootstrap 3 tutorial. Before I begin this video, I just want to say that I have got a better mic stand now, which means that I can have it much closer to my mouth, which in general makes the quality better. And by a better mic stand, I'm actually talking about a Pringles tube. So yeah. The quality's going to be a lot better now, hopefully. Sorry if it's a lot louder than normal and you've had to turn your volume down, but hopefully it should be better in the long run. So in this video we're going to be creating this sort of panel here on the left, which has got our article in it. So we're going to be starting on this article page, and this section over here we'll be doing in one of the next tutorials. So this panel is, everything's built into Bootstrap, although we do need to create some extra CSS tweaks to overwrite some of the styles. We have some issues with like padding and things, but it's generally quite easy. So we've got a header up here, we've got a picture here, we've got paragraphs and whatever you want inside here. I've already been through this in the first video, so I'm not really going to go through it. So hop into our code. What you want to do is just go and duplicate what's in this index.html. So we're going to create a new file and we're going to call it read.html. And this is going to have our actual new page in it. So copy and paste here. And inside of our read.html, we want to remove some of the stuff. We want to remove the actual content. So we want to remove everything except for the header and the footer and the modal. So start at this div here, which is just above the navbar at the bottom, and then go all the way up to this to the top of the jumbotron. So that's this container here, and just delete it. So now if we save that and we come into our code here, into our display view, sorry, you can see it's just a blank canvas with a header and a footer and everything like that. So now we're ready to actually create our panels. We're going to be doing this based on a fluid grid system. So the left is going to be divided into 9. The left is going to be spanning 9 and the right will span 3. So we're going to do div class equals row. And then inside here we're going to have a div class equal to col-lg-9. So that spans 9. It should be anything new to you if you followed this series. If it is new to you, go back and watch the video on grid system. So anyway, inside here we're going to have a div with a class equal to panel. And we also need one more class for this, which is panel-default. This gives us the colors and the styles and everything like that to make it look good. Now you'd also get other types of panels with different colors. I personally don't like them, and in this situation they're not really going to work, although of course I'll link you down to the Bootstrap documentation below, so you can have a look at that if you want to. You can have a look at all the different styles, but in my opinion default works best here. So in here we're going to have is just test. So now if I save that and we go refresh, you can see what test. Now the first issue here is it's spanning just really far, and this is because we need to put this whole thing inside a container. So I'm just going to nudge this all in a bit, and then here I'm going to go div class equal to container, and that of course will center it all, and it's going to close off here. Okay, so I just fixed all of the indentation here. It's the same code, but I've just put all the indentations properly in there. Okay, so now if I refresh, you can see it's now centered. But the problem we've still got is that its padding is not looking good. It's too close to the borders. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. I'm going to put another div inside here, which is panel-body. And close that off, and inside here we'll just put test. So now if I refresh, it's all looking really good. It's spanning 9, it's got good padding, so yeah, it's all looking really good. As I said before, we're not going to be bothering about the stuff on the right here. For now we're going to be doing the stuff on the left. So now we're going to be using a built-in class called the page header, and this is going to give us all the styling for the page header, as the class name says. So this is just page-header. And inside here we're going to have a h3 tag, and this is going to say whatever you want. So if I refresh that, you see it says whatever you want. And now I'm aware there's an issue of the padding at the top here. We're going to sort that in a moment. We can also add a small tag, and inside here go posted on July 26th or something like that. Now if we refresh that, one more thing you want to do is add a space here. So now if we refresh that, that looks really good. So that's starting to look like this. The issue we have here is the padding between, or the sort of margin between this and the top of the panel. So that is where our CSS file kicks in. First, what we need to do is add a page-header. Oh. And inside here, we're just going to put margin-top and set this to 0. So that will clear our margin on the top. Refresh that. That's looking better, but we've still got a padding for the panel. So the next thing we need to do is add a page-body. Sorry, panel-body. Body. And inside here, what we're going to have is a padding-top is 0. So now if we refresh that, it all looks brilliant. That is fitting properly. We've got how many pixels this is here, and it's all looking good. And if I bring it in, everything's obviously still the same. So heading back into our normal code in our HTML file, underneath this page header, we're going to add the featured image. So this is simply going to be an img class equal to feature image, and it's going to have a src, so the location of the file. I'm going to leave that blank for now, and that's it. So if I head into our file structure, what I need to do is put our image in here. So I actually already have the image here. It's inside a folder called images. I'm going to copy that, and this is the root directory of our site. So I'm going to create a new folder here, call it img, and paste that image in there. And that image is called motox, and it's a .jpg. So src, and this is going to be img/motox.jpg. So now if I save that, and you see brackets does this really cool thing where it actually shows you the picture when you hover over it. So we know that we've got our it's hooked in properly. So brackets has been able to find it. So we've obviously referenced it right. Refresh here, and there's our picture. Now we have this issue here where it's slightly overlapping. So what we're going to do is add a width here equal to 100%. And this is just going to make sure it's 100% of the parent. So in this case, the parent is this panel. So it's going to fit 100% of the way of this panel. So now that's all looking really good. We can add our paragraph underneath. So I'm just going to head over to lipsum, and I'm just going to generate lorem ipsum and copy and paste this into under here. So we're going to create paragraph tags here and just paste that in. So now if I save that and we go back into our site, you can see that that paragraph text is there. The next thing we need to do is add a margin between this and this. So the picture and the text needs to have a bit of space in between it. I think this is about 20 pixels that we need to add. So we're going to add a margin-bottom to this picture. Okay, so we're going to add .featured image, because that's the class for the featured image. And we're going to say margin-bottom, and it's actually 15 pixels that we need in this situation. And I found that using trial and error. That's the easiest way to find most things. So now if we go and refresh, what have I done wrong? I put feature image. That's supposed to be featured img. So now if we refresh that, it's all looking fine. You see we've got this 15 pixel gap here, so yeah. The next thing we can do is add headings, so we're going to do h4, and this is going to be our heading. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this paragraph here. So save that and refresh, and you see everything's looking good now. So that's pretty much it for this video. You can add as whatever you want in here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe if you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video.